Getting a U.S. green card is a life-changing dream, but for millions across Asia, that dream might be slipping away. In today's video, we're uncovering 7 Asian countries that could lose access to green cards by 2025 and why time may be running out. Some of these reasons are shocking, so let's get right into it. Number 7, Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka could be days away from the chopping block when it comes to U.S. green card access. Why? The country's unraveling economy is at the heart of the storm. Since 2022, it's been battered by sky-high inflation, fuel chaos, and political unrest. As daily life becomes unbearable, more Sri Lankans are chasing new beginnings overseas, especially in the US. But there's a problem. That desperation is now fueling a wave of immigration scams. US immigration agents have flagged a troubling rise in fake applications, documents doctored, job offers forged, and family ties completely made up. Verification systems are overwhelmed, and embassies can barely keep up. With passports from Sri Lanka now ranked weaker due to unrest, every applicant is under tighter scrutiny. Washington may soon decide that these risks outweigh the rewards. There's serious talk of placing Sri Lanka on a restricted list, one that could block or freeze green card issuance altogether in 2025. If you're hoping to migrate from Sri Lanka, the window may be closing fast. Before we jump to the next country, drop a comment telling us where you're watching from. We always want to hear from you. Number 6, Syria. Syria's road to the American dream has been long and heartbreaking. And now that road could be closing for good. The reason? A decade-long civil war that shattered the nation. Since 2011, the war has torn apart Syria's institutions, erased official records, and forced millions to flee. Many Syrian green card applicants today simply don't have what the U.S. needs to verify. No IDs, no transcripts, no job history. And that's a major issue. The U.S. immigration system depends on detailed background checks, but without a working database in Syria, that's near impossible. To make things worse, American embassies nearby are either closed or operating with skeleton staff, making it harder to check any documentation. As 2025 approaches, U.S. lawmakers are urging tighter controls on immigration from countries that lack document transparency, and Syria is front and center. Refugee options may still exist, but regular green card routes? They're under serious threat. Even for Syrians with legitimate hopes, the door to the U.S. might be shutting. Number 5, Iran. Iran's long-standing friction with the U.S. could finally hit a breaking point in 2025, and green card access might be the next casualty. The core is one word: security. Rising tensions over nuclear talks and intelligence concerns have made U.S. officials extra cautious. While most Iranians seeking green cards are hardworking professionals and students, a few fraud cases have raised major red flags. Here's another snag. There's no U.S. embassy in Iran, so applicants have to apply through third-party countries like Turkey or the UAE, slowing the process and complicating background checks. On top of that, Iran's internet censorship and surveillance make it hard for U.S. authorities to investigate an applicant's history or education. Now, in 2025, political pressure is mounting to reevaluate immigration from high-risk nations. Iran is under the microscope. A sweeping halt to family visas and student-to-residency conversions could be on the table. For thousands of talented Iranians chasing a peaceful life in the U.S., this would be a crushing blow. So here's the question. Is Pakistan next on the U.S. restriction list?
Number 4, Pakistan. Pakistan's place on the U.S. immigration radar is growing increasingly uncertain. By 2025, green card access could be suspended, and the signs are everywhere. First concern, security violations. There's a noticeable rise in visa overstays and green card misuse among applicants from Pakistan. Though it doesn't reflect the majority, it's creating growing concern within U.S. immigration circles. Next, background checks. In many parts of rural Pakistan, documentation is inconsistent or outdated. This slows down the entire process and triggers alarms, especially when applicants come from regions affected by conflict or terrorism. With political unrest and economic pressure driving more Pakistanis to seek permanent residency, the U.S. system is under strain. lawmakers are urging stricter measures or even temporary freezes on certain countries. Pakistani Americans are already speaking out, worried about delayed applications and separation from family. If this policy takes effect, thousands of lives could be disrupted.
Number 3, Nepal. Peaceful, scenic, and surprisingly, at risk. Nepal could be facing U.S. green card restrictions by 2025, and it's all tied to a growing pattern of immigration abuse. Over recent years, U.S. officials have seen a spike in Nepali citizens entering on short-term visas only to overstay and work illegally. Many were misled by unauthorized consultants offering shady shortcuts to a green card. Then there's a darker trend: human trafficking. With poverty and political instability on the rise, Nepali nationals are being exploited through fake job offers and even arranged marriages used to game the immigration system. In some cases, traffickers exploit the U.S. green card lottery to sneak people in under false identities. Another issue: Nepal's outdated digital infrastructure. Without solid systems to verify identities or past records, fraud is easier and trust is harder to earn. By 2025, the U.S. may cut or suspend green card opportunities for Nepal unless these issues are addressed. That includes improving passport controls and cracking down on illegal migration networks. For many hoping to build a future in the U.S., this could be a painful roadblock. Although most Nepali citizens are honest and hardworking, a few bad actors are threatening the chances of thousands who dream of building a life in the U.S. Now, coming in at number 2, South Korea, a country celebrated for its global tech dominance, viral K-pop stars, and economic success. But behind this glowing image, a major diplomatic dilemma is quietly unfolding in 2025. One that could shut the green card door for thousands of South Koreans. Here's what's happening. U.S. authorities have seen a steady uptick in visa misuse, especially among students and temporary workers. More and more young South Koreans are arriving in the U.S. on tourist, student, or work visas, then simply not leaving. Many are finding off-the-books jobs in places like Los Angeles, Dallas, and New York, often within tight-knit Korean communities. Others bounce from one visa category to another, quietly extending their stay, sometimes for years, without legal adjustment of status. While these aren't isolated incidents anymore, the growing volume has triggered alarms in immigration offices. What's worse, the rise in contract marriages, arrangements where people pay brokers or meet online to stage fake marriages strictly to obtain green cards. These scams are now popping up in official databases and sparking investigations. Even though South Korea is a key U.S. ally, the pressure to fix these issues is intensifying. With America tightening immigration policies in 2025, even countries with historically high visa approval rates are getting reevaluated. If these abuse patterns keep growing, the U.S. may reduce or freeze green card access for South Koreans altogether. Avoiding that outcome will require swift action, better enforcement at home, more immigration education, and deeper cooperation with U.S. agencies. But time is short. Without meaningful changes, thousands of South Koreans, whether chasing degrees, career paths, or family reunions, could find the green card gates closing shut. Number 1, the United Arab Emirates. And finally, number 1 on our list, the United Arab Emirates. Known for its futuristic cities, jaw-dropping luxury, and booming business hubs, the UAE might seem far removed from immigration trouble. But in 2025, it's facing unexpected scrutiny that could cost its citizens green card privileges. Why is this happening? It comes down to a growing list of visa violations and national security flags. Even though the UAE is one of the wealthiest nations in the world, an increasing number of its citizens, especially young adults, are entering the U.S. on short-term visas, then overstaying. Some take unauthorized jobs, others file questionable asylum claims, and a few even exploit legal loopholes to gain long-term entry. These patterns haven't gone unnoticed,
and they're happening at a time when U.S. immigration policy is becoming more aggressive. There's also a wider geopolitical angle at play. While the UAE remains a U.S. ally, it's been strengthening its ties with China and Russia, two nations currently under intense U.S. scrutiny. That shift is raising concerns in Washington, especially when paired with the UAE's dual citizenship laws and loose residency rules for foreign elites. On top of that, immigration officers are running into document verification problems. Identity checks, background screening, and transparency challenges are becoming more frequent with Gulf region applicants. Now, in 2025, as the U.S. tightens its grip on immigration and national security, even longtime allies like the UAE are not exempt. If fraudulent asylum claims, overstays, and deportation delays continue, American policymakers may hit pause on green card access for Emirati citizens. That would be a painful reality for thousands: students aiming for U.S. universities, investors setting up business ventures, and families waiting to reunite. And the message from Washington is growing louder. No country, no matter how rich or influential, is above the rules. Thanks for watching. If this video gave you insight, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss updates like this. And now, we want to hear from you. Which country surprised you the most on this list? Or which one do you think shouldn't be there at all? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're reading every single one.